Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel, General Hospital Diaries. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. Today's episode of General Hospital promises some intense moments. Jason Morgan starts to suspect JOSSLYN Jax is hiding something, while Lucky Spencer warns Christina Corinthos Davis that her actions have consequences. Meanwhile, Ava Jerome will have some pointed questions for Elizabeth Baldwin. Trina Robinson will find herself understanding Kai Taylor's side of things. Why should I miss out on doing something I love so much? Trina asks in the preview. It seems Trina will put herself in Kay's shoes, understanding his desire to return to the football field, even if it means taking a risk with Drew Kane's questionable offer. At the hospital, Elizabeth will get an unexpected visit from Ava, who will ask a series of probing questions about the recent accident. While Liz won't initially understand Ava's motives, Ava is secretly digging into what she discovered about Rick Lansing's sabotaged brakes. Ava is quickly piecing together that Christina may be involved, and she will work out how to leverage this information for her own gain. Meanwhile, Rick will have a flashback to the night of the accident. He recalls seeing Christina at the crash site, looking panicked. But will Rick reveal this crucial detail to anyone, like Ava or Alexis Davis? It's likely Rick will keep Molly Lansing Davis in the dark while he works through his memories. In the chapel, Lucky will confront Christina, telling her that she has gone too far and must face the consequences. Christina will beg him to keep quiet, worried about ruining her relationship with Molly and potentially facing jail time. Will Lucky remain silent, or will he expose her? For the sake of drama, Lucky might continue to protect Christina's secret. Over at Anna Devane's location, she'll attempt to talk to Jack Brennan about Valentin Cassadine. However, Brennan wants to discuss Anna's own troubles instead, expressing concern about the mess she's gotten herself into. At Carly Spencer's home, Carly will ask JOSSLYN about her supposed trip to Easter Island, the one that never actually happened. JOSSLYN has been undergoing WSB training, and her story doesn't quite add up. Jason will begin to question JOSSLYN's version of events, and may start to realize she's not being entirely truthful with him or Carly. I didn't know you'd been to Easter Island, JOSSLYN says, clearly irritated in the preview. While Jason may not immediately figure out the full picture or what's next, he will sense that JOSSLYN is hiding something. Jason might soon uncover the truth about JOSSLYN's deception. General Hospital spoilers suggest that Jason Morgan and Sasha Gilmore Corbin may be heading toward marriage. But could this extreme step be to cover up Michael Corinthos' paternity secret? Jason has already assured Sasha that he's willing to sign the birth certificate and medical records, acknowledging the child as his. While this would be a serious commitment, Jason joked that he's been involved in worse situations before, something GH fans can definitely agree with. In an effort to reassure Sasha, Jason also shared some optimistic predictions and emphasized that when it comes to Michael, he would go to any lengths for him. This becomes even more significant when considering that Jason is willing to take on this responsibility to safeguard Michael's position in a potential custody battle with Willow Corinthos. Jason's dedication to this cause raises questions about where this storyline is headed. Could he go so far as to marry Sasha to further protect Michael's secret? Sasha, meanwhile, is concerned about the possibility of Michael losing his children, Wiley Corinthos and Amelia Corinthos, if Willow learns of his infidelity. Since Michael's affair with Sasha led to her pregnancy, Willow could use that against him in court, which is a nightmare Sasha is determined to prevent. Therefore, she remains committed to helping Jason uphold this paternity ruse. But things could get complicated if Willow starts to pick up on subtle clues. While the timing of the conception doesn't seem suspicious at the moment, it could eventually raise questions. Will Willow begin to suspect that Michael might have been involved with Sasha, especially after discovering her betrayal with Drew Kane. The optics of Willow moving in with Drew and introducing the kids to his home while Michael is still recovering could further complicate things, especially if this leads to a custody battle down the line. If Willow starts searching for answers, she could uncover hints that make her question whether Jason is truly the father or just pretending. Jason and Sasha may take their deception a step further by creating the appearance of a happy family. To keep Willow from suspecting the truth, they could even go through with a wedding. As things develop, it's possible that Jason and Sasha may genuinely grow closer, adding emotional complexity to an already tangled situation. General Hospital spoilers indicate that Sasha and Jason's lives will continue to intersect. General Hospital spoilers suggest that Chad Duell has recently shared an update on his journey after leaving the show, shedding light on why he's feeling proud of the path he's taking. On Instagram, Duell opened up about the personal challenges he's been working on during his time away from General Hospital, both mentally and physically. Duell revealed that he's undergoing a significant transformation and shared some details with his followers. Been on a real journey lately, mentally and physically, Duell wrote in his post, which featured a shirtless picture. He went on to explain, dropped nearly 20 pounds since December, but the weight that really matters wasn't just physical. Been shedding old mindsets, self-doubt, and comfort zones too. Duell also discussed how mental growth can impact your body. It's something the actor has experienced throughout his journey. Funny how the more you grow mentally, the more your body wants to match that energy. Or maybe it's the other way around. Either way, they're definitely in a relationship. And I think they're getting serious, Duell remarked. As he closed his post, Duell acknowledged that he's still working on himself, but is embracing his transformation and feeling proud of what he's achieved so far. Still a work in progress, but I'm proud of the path I'm on, Duell said. Growth isn't always loud, but it shows up if you stay consistent. Even though Michael is currently absent from the drama, recovering in a German clinic, his storyline remains significant. There's been much speculation on ABC's GH about Michael's return, and when fans might see him again in Port Charles. When that day comes, will Chad Duell reprise his role as Michael Corinthos, or will a new actor take over the part? Only time will tell, but it's encouraging to see Duell thriving as he overcomes personal challenges. General Hospital spoilers suggest there will be more predictions about Michael's storyline as things heat up. General Hospital reveals that Rick Lansing recalled a memory of Christina Corinthos Davis at the crash site, while Ava Jerome's investigation confirmed the brakes were tampered with. At Trina Robinson's apartment, she was cautious as Kai Taylor shared details about an innovative procedure that could help him return to football, especially with Drew Kane offering to cover the cost. Meanwhile, Lucy Coe sought Jordan Ashford's help as a liaison for the nurses' ball. Jordan was given a list of names and tasked with convincing them to perform. At Aurora, Curtis Ashford acted as if Drew was leading Kai into false hope with a risky procedure, but Drew defended his choice, saying Curtis was letting personal grudges get in the way of Kay's future. While Drew and Curtis debated, Jordan arrived with her request for nurses' ball performers. Drew agreed to join, prompting Curtis to follow suit. At the WSB training facility, JOSSLYN Jax recapped the suspicious drop-off she witnessed, but Vaughn dismissed it, claiming she was fabricating the story to impress Jack Brennan. Vaughn played it cool, but JOSSLYN stood firm in her story, even risking her WSB future. Once Vaughn's pocketed package was revealed to be part of a test, Brennan acknowledged her loyalty. JOSSLYN passed this level of training and was ready to get into the field. Although her training was ongoing, Brennan soon asked her to work on a specific mission. Brennan eventually told Vaughn he would be JOSSLYN's backup on the mission. In Carly Spencer's kitchen, she told Jason Morgan that she didn't want to be forced to choose between him and Brennan. Carly was determined to make her own decisions, urging Jason to trust her judgment about Brennan not being a threat. Jason remained cautious, fearing that the unpredictable nature of Brennan's world could cause harm. After losing Sam McCall, Jason was determined not to lose Carly too. Eventually, Jason agreed to stay out of Carly's relationship with Brennan. If Carly was right, he would support her. If she was wrong, they could face any danger together. Just as Jason predicted Carly would never lose him, JOSSLYN entered the kitchen and announced her return. Back at Trina's place, she and Kai shared a kiss when Lucy arrived, urging them to participate in the nurses' ball. At GH, Ava convinced Isaiah Gannon to let her see Rick, who remained unconscious following his surgery. Ava pleaded with Rick to wake up, and he eventually did, asking about Elizabeth. Ava reassured Rick that Liz was fine. Rick recalled losing control of the vehicle when the brakes failed. In the chapel, Christina acknowledged her wrongdoings while praying for Rick's recovery. Molly Lansing Davis overheard Christina's prayer as she arrived with Alexis Davis, but she was touched, not hearing any mention of Christina's guilt. Christina was relieved to hear Rick made it through surgery without any permanent damage. Alexis, too, was happy to see the Davis sisters growing closer and sharing a heartfelt hug. When they ran into Ava on her way out, she shared that Rick had woken up. Molly rushed to Rick's side, where he reassured her that she'd never lose him. Later, Lucky Spencer spent time with a frustrated Elizabeth Baldwin, who was eager to return home and frustrated by her loss of independence. Nevertheless, Lucky encouraged Liz to accept help and expressed gratitude that her injuries weren't worse than a broken leg. Liz later learned that Rick had woken up, and she felt relief, urging Lucky not to blame him for the accident. Lucky later met with Christina in the chapel and admitted no one else knew about her guilt, at least not yet. Christina found herself facing questions from Lucky about how she nearly caused Elizabeth's death. Back with Ava, she visited the car repair shop where Rick's wrecked car was being examined. Pretending it was her own, Ava got the mechanic to check for any faults. He soon reported that the brakes had been deliberately cut. Meanwhile, Rick had another memory, this time recalling Christina standing in the distance after the crash. General Hospital spoilers hint that Christina may soon face serious consequences. The drama continues as Drew Kane makes a shocking accusation, while Elizabeth Baldwin opens up to Lucky Spencer. Plus, a major twist surrounding Vaughn is set to unfold, and there's a lot to look forward to on GH this week. To begin with, Trina Robinson is hesitant when Kai Taylor shares news about Drew's proposal. Drew is offering to fund the procedure that could help Kai get back to his football career, but Trina has concerns. Still, Trina recognizes that the decision ultimately lies with Kai, just as Curtis Ashford had pointed out earlier. Speaking of Curtis, tensions will rise between him and Drew during a confrontation on Friday's episode. Drew will make a strong accusation, possibly suggesting that Curtis's personal grudge is standing in the way of Kay's future. Curtis will fire back with accusations of his own, continuing to suspect that Drew is exploiting Kay's situation. Drew may argue that things are already tense enough without adding this issue to the mix, but Curtis will remain protective of Kai. Later, Trina and Kay's conversation will take an unexpected turn. Will Drew reach out for an answer, or will someone else intervene in their discussion? In another storyline, Ava Jerome will visit Rick Lansing's room after his surgery. Ava will plead with Rick to wake up. Will he hear her? Meanwhile, some surprising information is about to land in Ava's hands, potentially giving her a powerful advantage. If Ava learns that Rick's car was sabotaged, she might suspect Christina Corinthos Davis was behind the sabotage and mistakenly targeted the wrong car. After all, Ava knows Rick was parked in her designated space. Elsewhere, Lucky will visit Elizabeth in her room, where she'll confess that her recovery from her broken leg is proving more challenging than she anticipated. Liz won't want to feel like a burden, but she knows she can always count on Lucky for support. and she'll undoubtedly receive his assurance of help. At Carly Spencer's home, she insists to Jason Morgan that her decision to be with Jack Brennan is final, and she believes that he poses no threat to her. Jason, however, will struggle to accept that Carly isn't in danger, especially after her near-death experience from the poisoning incident. Despite the tension, Jason and Carly seem on track to find some sort of truce on Friday's episode. At the WSB Training Center, JOSSLYN Jax will report more on Vaughn's suspicious behavior and assure Brennan that everything she's saying is legitimate. Even though Vaughn tries to downplay the situation, JOSSLYN will remain convinced that the odd encounter at the cafe was a significant warning sign. Brennan may eventually commend JOSSLYN for picking up on the subtle clues if this is all part of her training. After proving her loyalty to the WSB, Brennan might predict that JOSSLYN is ready for the next phase and officially give his approval for her graduation. The episode was a masterclass in dramatic pacing, seamlessly weaving together multiple storylines that converged in a series of emotional and gut-wrenching moments. The drama was centered around Drew Kane's desperate search for answers about his past, Elizabeth Weber's unraveling under the weight of her guilt, and a stunning truth about Vaughn that has left many scratching their heads and demanding. Once a man driven by a quiet determination to rebuild his life, has been transformed into a force of righteous anger fueled by the lingering questions surrounding his lost memories. The frustration of fragmented recollections and the gnawing suspicion that someone is deliberately withholding information from him finally boiled over. His prime target? None other than Cyrus Renault. Drew's confrontation with Cyrus was a powerhouse of acting, showcasing Drew's raw vulnerability and unyielding resolve. He accused Cyrus of being deeply involved in manipulating his memories, orchestrating the kidnapping that led to his brainwashing, and holding the key to unlocking the truth that has eluded him for so long. "You were there, Cyrus. You were part of it. You manipulated me, you stole my life, and now you're hiding behind this facade of redemption while I'm left picking up the pieces." Drew thundered, his voice echoing through the halls. Cyrus, ever the master manipulator, maintained his innocent act, vehemently denying any involvement in Drew's past. He claimed to be a changed man, dedicated to serving God and atoning for his past sins. However, Drew wasn't buying it. He saw through Cyrus's carefully constructed facade, recognizing the glint of deception in his eyes. The confrontation was a powder keg of pent-up emotions, leaving viewers on the edge of their seats, wondering if Drew would finally get the answers he so desperately seeks, or if Cyrus would once again slip through his fingers. The implications of Drew's accusation are monumental. If Cyrus is indeed involved in Drew's past, it could unravel the fragile peace he has established in Port Charles and reignite the old conflicts that plagued the town for so long. For months, Elizabeth Weber has been haunted by a secret she couldn't bring herself to reveal: her role in hiding Nicholas Cassadine's return from everyone, including his own son Spencer. The weight of this deception has taken a heavy toll on her, eroding her mental well-being and pushing her to the brink. In a heart-wrenching scene, Elizabeth finally crumbled under the pressure and confessed everything to Lucky Spencer, the father of her son Cameron. The confession was a floodgate of tears, guilt, and regret. Elizabeth poured out her soul to Lucky, detailing how Nicholas had manipulated her, preying on her vulnerability after Franco's death and convincing her to keep his secret. "I was so lost, Lucky," Elizabeth sobbed, her voice cracking with emotion. "Nicholas knew I was vulnerable. He promised me things would go back to normal, that he would protect me. I believed him, and I made a terrible mistake." Lucky, initially stunned by Elizabeth's revelation, listened with compassion and understanding. He recognized the pain she had been carrying and the emotional turmoil she had endured. He offered her words of comfort and reassurance, reminding her that she was not solely to blame for the situation. However, Lucky also emphasized the importance of taking responsibility for her actions and facing the consequences. He urged her to come clean to everyone, including Spencer, and to start the healing process. Elizabeth's confession marks a turning point in her character arc. While she will undoubtedly face repercussions for her actions, the act of confession has freed her from the burden of her secret and opened the door for healing and redemption. This also opens the door for a potential rekindling of the Lucky and Elizabeth dynamic, something many longtime fans have been hoping for. The biggest shock of the episode, and perhaps one of the biggest in recent General Hospital history, came with a stunning revelation about Vaughn. For years, viewers have known and loved Vaughn as, well, nothing. Details are sparse at best, but it was revealed that Vaughn is actually, well, that is a secret. And unfortunately, you have to watch General Hospital to find out because we do not know at this time. The explosive events of this episode have sent shockwaves through Port Charles, setting the stage for a tumultuous period of change and conflict. Drew's relentless pursuit of the truth will undoubtedly lead him closer to uncovering the secrets surrounding his past, potentially exposing powerful figures and shattering long-held alliances. Elizabeth's confession will have far-reaching consequences, impacting her relationships with Spencer, Nicholas, and the rest of the Port Charles community. Her journey toward redemption will be a challenging one, but it also offers the opportunity for growth and self-discovery. The aftermath of this Vaughn revelation will leave viewers speculating for weeks to come. One thing is certain, the landscape of Port Charles has been irrevocably altered. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.